From the 260 to the 469, welcome to another weekly recap of the DNFL. As Forrest would say, how's it going? Um, Sorry for not being around last week. I took a long needed weekend trip up to Winona Lake. It was great. I spent some time with my dad. It was really fun, but now I am back to talk about the musings of the DNFL. But back to the Forrest how's it going line. Forrest, congratulations on having your third kid this week. I don't know if you will be watching this. I assume you will have your hands full. So I am just saying congratulations. Hopefully see you at church on Sunday. But yeah, just wanted to have that there in the intro. But going into what is on my mind this week, honestly, I would say the weather this week is great. How's the weather? It's great. I'm enjoying the fall temperatures. I might go for a run this afternoon after I take a nap. I was up early this morning. I went to the Fort Wayne card show. We're in the Fort Card Show, 200 table show over by the Parkview Sport One Fieldhouse. I bought a Herb Jones card. I don't know if you guys know who Herb Jones is, but I got it for a really good price and then dropped off some cards for grading at PSA. So honestly, that card and a couple other ones that I bought were fairly discounted, and I think they'll cover basically all the grading fees for the cards that I dropped off. But yeah, that was my morning, but I just wanna do these, keep doing these out of a labor of love for you guys. I hope you get value from them. Um, that's good value from them. But yeah, some things that are on my mind, this week, just as I believe we're kind of maybe at the midpoint of the fantasy season. Uh a couple things on my mind. When I look back at my fantasy football playing days, who were the players that I had nostalgia for that I enjoyed watching or was very keen on drafting at the start of the year? The two players that come to mind for me would probably be, yeah, just I think over the course of like 5 to 10 years, excuse me, would probably be Adrian Peterson, Larry Fitzgerald, and Calvin Johnson. Just guys that I think I would try to concentrate and pick on if I or pick on pick on like I'm making fun of them. They'd beat me up. They'd kick my butt. But guys that I would try to pick every year that honestly they were just super consistent over time. And yeah, I'm wondering from you guys, who, when you think back on the fantasy football playing days of college and high school, who are the players that stood out to you that give you good memories? Who are the players that actually stand out to you that give you bad memories? I remember I was really high on, I think it was Monty Ball. He was playing for Denver, and I think he played at Wisconsin. But I remember I read, Matthew Berry's thing at the start of the year, and it was like Monte Ball his rookie year is going to run for 2,000 yards, and my college friend was like, "Hey, Monte Ball, he's not very good," and I'm like, "No, I'm going to pick Monte Ball really early." It's Adam falling in love with the rookies again, but he was not good, and yeah, so who are the players that not only bring back good memories from you, but also bring back bad memories? Also, too, another thing that's on my mind with this is who are the fantasy football, I would call them maybe, let's say, no, we're going to call them league winners because when I think of a league winner, I think of someone that you either drafted really late or you picked up off the waivers that ended up finishing like top 10 in their position. So I think we can look at David Johnson, Alfred Morris, Peyton Hillis. You can look at Puka Nakua last year, but who was a guy that stands out to you in the last 10 to 15 years of your fantasy football days that you were very high on that ended up pretty much winning you your league. Leave a comment below. Leave a comment on that player and leave a comment on uh your fantasy football nostalgia players and the ones that give you since it's National Diarrhea Awareness Month that give you diarrhea and stomach cramps. Leave a comment. Leave a comment. But yeah, let me go ahead and just share my screen and just try to talk through some things. So I'm going to just be going through week 7 because I'm a little behind just on the standings here. So Sam won. Sam's been doing really well this year. Sam beat, no, he didn't beat Doug Baby, but he won against Doug Baby. I hope Doug Baby doesn't get beaten up. Um, and then we have Dak Attack. I think that's homie. Dak Attack won. The pup list, 95. I was rooting for the pup list. I should have given a blessing to Doug Baby, but Doug Baby got his blessing from Doug Baby, but I gave a blessing to pup list, and pup list is winning now. Um, Homie got Riz. That's Caleb, I believe. Caleb won. Does Tam really have rabies? But Tam has rabies, lost to Homie's Hoodlums. Again, I think if we're looking at teams, I think Jaden could play spoiler to the top teams. Let me go to week 8. Yeah, week 8, because that would have been this past week, and I would normally talk about this last week. Wow, Pup List 2 wins in a row. Man, I love Pup List. Dak Attack barely beat Doug. Um, Ultimate Has Been beat Homie Got Riz. Homie Got Riz. Who was? I'll look through the standings later, but yeah, I'm just going through these scores. Okay, Jaden kind of laid an egg last week, but IU for college football playoff, they're another team that's interesting, but I think you can kind of look at here are the teams on my mind. IU for college football playoff, Homies Hoodlums, um, Schroyer Farms, and Homie Got Riz. Those are the teams that stick out to me. I really hope that Tam doesn't have rabies. That would be bad. Um, Let me go away from this and go to the league standings. I'm just going to share this. So here's something really interesting. We're just going to look at the standings, and we can see in the East, Homies Got Riz, Schroyer Farms, and Homies Hoodlums. Top 3 seeds, and in the West, IU for college football playoff, Cayenne Pepper Hot Dog, and Ultimate Has Been. Um, Top 3 in that league. Let's scroll down to the season stats because I always find this interesting in fantasy. People will say it's based on your matchup each week, but I think it's interesting if I think I can filter. Oh, that's cool. So I would have to look at I think Cayenne Pepper Hot Dog is maybe Blake, but Blake actually ranks in the top for points this year, which his record overall, he's 5th. But if you go into his points, okay, never mind. But what I'm trying to say here is I think it's interesting if you compare. So, like, you look at these two teams. I would have to look back just at their games at the start of the year compared to what I had just shown. But if they would have laid like a couple eggs and still lost, but like still been very consistent since then, I feel like their records are pretty misleading. Just look on the total points for and the fact that Blake scored more than Caleb, but Blake is allowed more than Caleb. Um, Homie pretty much has scored the same as Caleb, but he's allowed 40 more points. So it's like one of those things where I'm like, is Caleb really going to win it all? I don't know. Now I'm messing with stuff. Um, Tam has rabies though is a good indicator though. Um, yeah, that's why. Yeah, I don't think this matters a ton. He's in last place for not Tam, but Dave is in last place for um, good reason. And yeah, I just wanted to go through that because I thought that would be interesting to share. Um, Honestly, if there is something that you would want me to go ahead and discuss next week, shoot me a text, shoot me a Vine, a reel. I'm not on Snapchat. Send me an email. That would be cool. Or just call me or talk to me at church or something else. Yeah, I want this to be informative and fun for you guys. If you liked this episode, share with your friends, share with your parents, your mentors, your dogs. Like and subscribe, and yeah, leave some comments just on kind of what I've asked about because I'm genuinely curious because those are the players that I had mentioned: Larry Fitzgerald, Calvin Johnson, or Adrian Peterson are three players that brought me good memories in fantasy. But I'm just curious from your guys' perspective, who was that for you? Who were the players that left you heartburn or explosive diarrhea back in the day? And yeah, who were the fantasy, what did I call that? League winners? I think it was league winners. The guys that were under the radar that you scooped up or drafted late that did really well for you. Let me know. Thanks again for letting me. Well, I'm thanking myself for jumping on here. But I hope this was helpful for you guys. I hope you are having a good weekend. I will see you next week.